I gently hugged my granddaughter, still unable to find the words. I'm sorry. Your mom is. In a trembling voice, I told her that her mom had gone far away. It was a reality too painful for a girl of only 10 years old. Whatever her reaction was, I was determined to accept it. When my granddaughter learned what had happened to her mother, she suddenly broke the picture frame in the living room. The acrylic picture frame contained a family photo of me, my daughter and her husband, and Ami. The four corners of the frame were only fastened together, so even the slightest effort by a young girl could cause the frame to fall apart. The photo fell to the floor with a flutter. I couldn't understand this behavior, and I raised my voice. Stop it. Isn't this a cherished memory of our family vacation?
Because my mom said look at the back of this.
She seemed unfazed and picked up the photo that had fallen out of her hands. She is a mysterious girl with an innocent smile, but sometimes acts and speaks in a strangely mature way. Could it be that the spirit of her daughter appeared here and told her granddaughter to do so?
No. She told me to look at the back of this picture if something happened to her.
She smiled and held out the picture to me. I looked at the picture with a sense of wonder, not knowing what she was talking about. My name is Sherry Moore, and not long ago I was the president of a clothing brand. It was a Saturday lunchtime at my favorite restaurant, and I was thinking back to a few months ago. It was a chilly, rainy day in early spring. I'm going to retire from my position as president on my 67th birthday. When I told my daughter Mary, she was very much against it. I had always been Mary's confidant, and I was proud to have been her confidant. And I was surprised by her reaction because I believed that she was a good companion for me as well. Mary, new eras and trends are created by new generations. But, Mom, you're not ready. I want to leave the company in your hands, so that it will become better and better. With a look of conviction in my eyes, I convinced her. I knew my daughter had the ability to read trends. I understand. It's a company you've cherished, Mom. I'm sure I'll make it even bigger. Her snickering and enthusiasm resembled that of my husband, who had passed away early in life. I remembered the way he had said enthusiastically, "I will surely make you happy," when we had just launched the company. Just as I was celebrating the birth of our daughter, he was involved in an accident. I blamed myself for the too early separation, not feeling any sadness. But Mary was there. I pushed myself to protect and nurture my daughter. Without her, I would not have made it this far. I raised my daughter single-handedly, and I also managed a company while working hard to make a living. I am relieved that I managed to send my daughter to college. Her back, which was unreliable when she was little, is now a little taller and more dependable than mine. She is now working hard for the company every day. She still consults with me on various matters when she is unsure or confused. Today, too, she called me up at this lunchtime to tell me that she was having trouble with a rival company. "Mom, sorry to keep you waiting. Have you ordered yet?" "I'm just choosing now." Together, we peeked at the menu list and finished ordering on the touch panel provided at the table. Then Mary's eyes changed sharply and she turned to the face of the president and began to speak. "So, sorry. Sorry is a classmate of my daughter's and the president of a rival company. They became acquainted within the same university and continued to communicate with each other after they graduated and got married. I had met her several times and she was a very gentle-looking girl with great sensitivity at the same time. She has also started her own company and seems to be a good competitor with her daughter. However, she has been acting strangely recently. She has suddenly become distant. You don't have any idea what's going on, do you? No. She even blocked me on social media, and I don't know what to do. She ate a hamburger, the restaurant's specialty. She stuffed the burger into her mouth. What do you think? This kind of consultation had happened to me several times before. But neither I nor Mary thought that her best friend from school days and her would become estranged friends. It would have been better if they could have met and talked, but apparently that is not easy for them either. And David, too, sort of. She looked troubled. David is Mary's husband and executive director. He's been making a lot of mistakes at work lately, and he can't get anything done without me covering for him. Is that so? Not at all. He forgets to bring documents to meetings with clients, arrives late for meetings with his hair in a sleeping habit. David's stories of failure continued, and Mary found them stressful. I am grateful to you, Mom. I admire you so much for raising me and running your own company at the same time. But, she continued with a downcast look on her face, that's why I want to run my mom's company properly and I don't want him to mess it up. Finishing lunch, we headed outside. I smiled at her as we basked in the early summer sun. He's working hard, I know he is. They say that failure is the source of success, and it's just the beginning. Mary's cheeks puffed out as if she was unconvinced. About 2 weeks after my lunch with Mary, we had a family get-together for dinner. Our family has dinner once a month on the third Saturday of the month. I always looked forward to this meal more than anything else. Since my husband passed away, I have been estranged from my relatives and have no friends nearby. Since I had retired as president, I rarely talked to people, so I was even more excited now. I couldn't wait to get out of the house and arrived at the venue 30 minutes early. The place was a slightly rich Chinese restaurant, renowned by word of mouth as a hidden gem. The waitress couldn't help but giggle when she saw me getting too carried away. Oh no. I'm crazy. I was shown to a table with a reservation tag and waited for my daughter's family to arrive. I looked out the window and saw someone walking quickly under the trees. It was Sari. I leaned forward involuntarily, but it was all I could do to follow her through the window pane. Ever since Mary had told me about her, I had been somewhat concerned about her. Her brisk walk gave no indication, but I wondered what she thought of Mary. When you are in the same business, even as the president of a company, don't you get along well with each other? I did not have many friends like that, but we did not have many disagreements. That is why it was difficult for me to be close to Sari's feelings and Mary's feelings. While I was thinking about this, Mary and her family came to me with surprised looks on their faces. Mom, you're up so early. Well, I think I got the time wrong. Ha ha ha. I urged them to take their seats. Mary, her husband David, and my granddaughter Ami took their seats. Ami will be 10 years old this year. Ami is a mysterious child with an innocent smile, but sometimes acts strangely mature. We spread out the menu and ordered our favorite dishes.
Grandma, I don't have a single cavity.
My granddaughter smiles, showing me her beautifully erupted teeth. Well, I see. You're doing a great job brushing your teeth.
Yes. I brush my teeth in the morning and at night.
Ami turned her head away from her chest. She looked so cute that I felt relaxed watching her.
Dad, you're an adult and you have 6 cavities.
She glanced at David and giggled.
Hey, don't tease the grown-ups too much.
As he said this, he too smiled. I had heard that David had been making a lot of mistakes at work, and I had expected him to be depressed or something. However, he showed no such signs and was smiling from beginning to end. I was worried that he and Mary might not be getting along well, but they were chatting and laughing.
You brush your teeth too, Dad?
I do. I even use an electric toothbrush.
The three family members seemed to be enjoying each other's company, laughing at each other's trivial talk. I thought that I didn't have to take Mary's words so seriously. Meanwhile, the food arrived. On the table were the dishes the four of us had chosen, as well as stir-fried rice noodles, stir-fried green vegetables, and a large plate of salad. Eat a lot of food, everyone. Mom. We can't eat this much. Don't worry about it. You don't have any likes or dislikes, do you, Ami?
I don't like green pepper. Is there green peppers in this stir-fry?
Must have seen me and guessed something. She put her pastel-colored bag down in the living room and approached me. She was staring at me curiously, without her strikingly innocent smile. I hugged her gently, still unable to find the words to say. Ami, I'm sorry. Your mama is. In a trembling voice, I told her that her mother had gone far away, a reality too painful for a 10-year-old girl. Whatever her reaction was, I knew I had to accept it. However, she slipped out of my arms and picked up a picture frame displayed in the living room. In the acrylic picture frame was a family photo of me, my daughter and her husband, and Ami. Ami? She stared at it for a moment and then suddenly broke the picture frame. The photo frame, which had only 4 corners fastened together, came apart immediately with even the slightest effort by the young girl. The picture fell to the floor with a flutter. I couldn't understand what she was doing, so I raised my voice. It's a precious memory of our family vacation, isn't it?
Because Mom said to look at the back of this picture.
Ami seemed unfazed and picked up the fallen photo. Did the spirit of her daughter appear here and tell her granddaughter to do so?
No. She told me to look at the back of this picture in case something happens to her.
She smiled and held out the picture to me. I looked at the photo with some trepidation, not knowing what she was talking about. When I turned it over, I saw that in Mary's handwriting, she had written, "My husband is after me." I could see that she was trying to convey something in her scribble. What does it mean that her husband, David, is targeting her? I don't remember hearing anything like that from Mary. Did only Ami and Mary know about this? Is there any connection between this message and Mary's death? Did David kill Mary? He had never shown any sign of such a thing, and just a moment ago he was in the hospital with me, mourning Mary's death. Various thoughts were going around in my head, and I was at a loss for words. Then, David came home, mumbling and blabbing.
Oh my God. I can't believe I left my files here.
I took the opportunity to catch him and question him. David, I need to talk to you. Please come this way.
No, I have a meeting.
He seemed to want to avoid talking to me. He looked as if he was trying to hide something or knew something he did not want me to know. I held up the message on the back of the photo in front of his eyes as he was about to leave. What is this? He looked it over quickly.
Jeez.
He muttered quietly. He instantly looked away. I pressed him further. Answer me. These letters are written by Mary.
I don't know. My wife is dead, and what is this naughty prank?
Mary told Ami to look at this if something happened to her. How come you don't know?
Mary gave Ami a message.
He was obviously upset and his eyes were glazed over, and gradually he began to sweat as well. I tried to get him to tell me what was going on, but he just kept saying he didn't know. At that moment, Ami said from the side,
No wonder Dad doesn't know. Neither Mom nor Dad talk about anything at home.
Ami, stop it.
Mom told me. She says that you don't listen to her, and that it's a waste of time to talk to you.
The other day, your mom and dad were talking nicely.
That's because they didn't want Grandma to worry.
So they were trying to make it seem like they were getting along, she said.
Ami, shut up already. Don't tell lies.
It's the truth. You're the liar.
Who is the liar?
David was furious and pumped his fist in the air. I jumped on him, knowing that he was going to hit my granddaughter. Don't you dare touch Ami.
Let her go.
He raised his fist and slammed it down on my back. Ow.
Grandma.
I fell to the floor with a dull thud, and Ami approached me and looked into my face worriedly, tears threatening to spill from her moist eyes. If I didn't do anything, David would beat the shit out of both of us. He was mumbling something, his face turning red and his shoulders shaking.
It's her fault. All of it, all of it.
I didn't know who he was talking about. Anyway, I got up and urged Ami to go outside.
Oh no, Grandma, you have to go out with me.
Finally, tears spilled from her eyes. My granddaughter hugged me and started crying, while David was still mumbling something. I held my aching back and crawled to the front door. David noticed it, and said to me,
I won't let you go.
With that he took a pair of scissors that were close at hand and chased after me. I was only a few steps away from the front door, but I couldn't get there in time. I held Ami as if to protect her. Somebody help me. I shouted. That was when the door suddenly opened and someone jumped in. Hey! With a booming shout, Sari appeared. Using her business bag as a shield, she lunged at David and pushed him back, causing him to stumble and fall to the ground. Sari followed up by putting her arms behind his back and pinning him to the floor. You give it up. I've called the police. What did you do to the two of them?
Ow, ouch. Who are you?
Both Ami and I were taken aback by the appearance of someone so unexpected. Sorry? What brings you here? Oh, it's been a while. Mary asked me to take care of you too. Sari said that she had promised one thing to my daughter. That was when Sari's company was not doing well and she consulted Mary about management policies. She took some of my daughter's advice and put it into practice, and the business gradually recovered. As a thank you for her help, Sari told her to let her know if there was anything she could do to help. Well, if anything happens to me, you take care of Ami and Mom, okay? She had no idea what she was talking about, but Sari kept that promise in mind for a long time. I knew Mary had the ability to see something ahead of time. So I believed that there would eventually be something. Nothing was better than nothing. She chuckled. So I investigated what was happening near Mary. As she hired a detective to investigate, she became concerned about David. At first, she thought that he was Mary's husband and that some related matter could have come up. But then she realized that it was a bit unusual. What do you mean? You know that he had Mary cover for his mistakes at work. Of course I knew that. But what does that have to do with this? David groaned in frustration.
It's her fault, Mary always helped me as a matter of course, it was unnecessary. It made me uncomfortable.
Uncomfortable? Is that what you thought of her?
She has damaged my self-esteem. I'm the managing director.
He had a recrimination against Mary. And out of that resentment, he was planning to take over the company. After everything was exposed, he started ranting and raving about things we didn't understand. Sorry held him down firmly. He continued to rant and rave.
I thought today's car accident was lucky. I thought I had a chance to take over the company.
No way. You were crying in the hospital. I heard his sobbing voice. Was that an act, too?
Acting? No, it was not. That was a cry of joy.
Instead of mourning my daughter's death, he was secretly rejoicing at the opportunity to take over the company, and that was why he was shedding tears. His character was truly twisted. I was shocked and speechless. But my granddaughter said clearly,
You're disgusting. You're not my dad.
Just then, we heard the sound of a police car arriving. A strong police officer entered through the open front door, followed by a slender, middle-aged police officer. David was seized by the strong police officer and dragged away. We explained the situation to the middle-aged police officer. Sorry, I don't know how you managed to rush him. Despite appearances, I used to do karate as a child. Immediately after, the police officer warned her not to do anything dangerous. For a while after that, Ami and I lived together. At her funeral, we received messages of condolence from business partners and friends, and Sari also attended the ceremony. I am so glad that we were able to send her off together. David was interviewed by the police, and when I saw him again a few days later, he looked a bit worn out. I had a large bruise on my back where he had hit me, and on Sari's recommendation, I went to the hospital and had a medical certificate written and submitted where it should be submitted. I don't know if it was a result of that or not, but David was found guilty of assault. I think he is in jail right now, and I have decided to adopt Ami and raise her myself. I felt like I didn't have the strength or energy to do so. However, I could not collapse for Ami's sake, and I had to protect this child Mary had left behind. I think I'll hang on for a while longer. I vowed to myself secretly, staring at my granddaughter's sleeping face. After the funeral, I accepted an invitation from Sari and went to a stylish cafe near her office. There she told me that she had not really disliked Mary. I'm ashamed to say this, but I was jealous of Mary. Jealous? Why? Because I realized that no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't beat her. She became convinced of this when they discussed management policies. I was so jealous and frustrated that I ended up blocking her on social media and keeping her away from me. She told me that much and took a sip of her latte. But, she continued, the truth is, deep down I respected her. She said a little sadly, perhaps regretting somewhere in her heart that she had blocked her social media account. To be honest, I still feel that if I had known this was going to happen, I should have reconciled with her. To Sari, Mary was both a rival and a person worthy of respect. Sari, thank you for being my daughter's friend, I said, and she smiled shyly. The conversation then turned to what to do with my company. With the president and managing director gone, it would be tough to rebuild the company. I am temporarily in charge of some parts of the company, but I can't continue to do so for very long. Therefore, I was thinking of transferring the company to someone else and letting it go. Please let me take over. I was so surprised by her offer that I almost blew out my coffee. I had never thought that Sari would say such a thing. But I know it's a lot of work. But I also want to preserve the company that Mary and you have cherished so much. Please let me take care of it, please. She bowed deeply. I hesitated. But her enthusiasm pushed me to leave it to her. I understood. I will try to move our board meeting in that direction. Oh, thank you very much. This brought her and I closer together, and we had dinner together again a few months later, and she is like a real daughter to me. Ami, on the other hand, has had to leave her parents, but she doesn't seem to care much about her father. As for her own mother, she has managed to accept and live in the past few months. Actually, I still can't believe my daughter's death either, but I still decided to look forward and live my life. Around this time, Sari also comes to our house to visit and pray over Mary's remains. She also became good friends with Ami and they started going out together more often. At the restaurant where she had lunch with Mary, today the three of us are enjoying a date together.
Sorry, I don't have a single cavity.
Ami deflected her chest. I do hope that these casual days will continue. What did you think of this story? Please subscribe to our channel. See you in the next video.